Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Buds and Blue Jays. I'm your host, Jesse Burrell, and I am joined as always by my co-host, Riley McConnell. And Riley, what's up?
Not much, man. Just finished watching the game with my girlfriend. It was a good game. We lost the game. You know what? I know we took two out of three, but it feels like we lost the series because we didn't get the sweep. We're not scoring runs. Our pitching has been phenomenal, but I feel defeated in a way as a Jays fan, as someone who is a fan of baseball and what this team can actually do. I feel like we're significantly underperforming, man, and it isn't even close.
Yeah, when was the last time the Blue Jays have won 2 consecutive series and yet have felt bad about it, like something was missing? But that's what happens when you bring the lowly Cincinnati Reds into town, who are the worst team in baseball. You have them at home, and you can't win these games when you really feel like you should. It's kind of deflating in a way.
Absolutely, man. Like, I was coming in here, we're against a guy, I don't even know his name, Ash something. The pitcher today, he was making his major league debut. And I thought, bottom of the first, I thought, holy cow, like, boys, let's get on the sticks. Let's make this happen. Like, we need, and I said this last episode, we need a double-digit ball game. And we didn't even get double-digit runs in the series. Yeah. I can't even fathom how we can't hit with these guys that are in our lineup. I mean, look at our lineup up and down, man. Even our bottom of the order guys should be putting up RBIs, should be getting runs in, and we're just not doing that.
Yeah, we'll talk more about these hitters as our episode goes on. Today on the show, we're going to give you our series recap. We do have our 3 up and 3 down that we've got to talk about. I've got some news and notes I got to get for you. Rather, I'm going to spit at you some random facts, and let's go. But to get started, in game 1 of the series, the Blue Jays did win that game 2-1 against the Cincinnati Reds. Hyun-Jin Ryu danced in and out of trouble, but he pitched pretty well overall. Raimel Tapia, Bradley Zimmer, and Santiago Espinal had 2 hits apiece. And Adam Simber, Jimmy Garcia, Ryan Baracchi, Jordan Romano all shut the door down to get the job done. Game 2 of the series, Jays won 3-1. Bo Bichette had a double dong. Alek Manoahs did ace-like stuff, pitching 8 innings of 1-run ball. Jordan Romano with a perfect 9th to seal the deal. And the game 3, the one that happened today that you were talking about, the Jays struggled mightily with runners in scoring position. In fact, we didn't get a hit off the Reds bullpen, which had an ERA of over 7 coming into the series. We didn't even get a hit off of them. And the Canadian guy, Joey Votto, hit his first home run of the season late in the game off Jimmy Garcia to give the Reds the win. So, Riley, do you want to start with the positives here, or do you want to jump right into the downsides? Where do you want to take us first?
I think we agreed on this, man, and it makes sense. Like, we won this series, but as a team, we are underperforming, and I think we start with thumbs down, man. We're not going to be negative. We're not negative Nelly on the episode,
right?
But let's address the elephants in the room right now, which are the negatives.
Right. So split it away. The big issue that the Blue Jays have been having has been their ability to hit with runners in scoring position. And I know we've touched on it in episodes past, but it's been a running theme for the Blue Jays all season, basically. In the game today, for example, they were just 1 for 10 through the first 5 innings with runners in scoring position. And in the game, they left 21 runners on base, 3 for Bo, 3 for Teo, 3 for Chapman, 3 for Tapia, and 4 for Espinal. In fact, Riley, I want to give you a rundown of the Blue Jays starting lineups and what their batting average is as runners in scoring position. You ready?
You know what? I want you to tell me, but at the same time, I don't, because I will be absolutely heartbroken when you tell me.
Yeah, it's not pretty. The team leader and hitting with runners in scoring position right now is Zach Collins, who's got a 308 average. George Springer, our leadoff hitter, is next, who doesn't really hit with runners on base that much, is hitting 281. Vladdy, Mr. 1 for 4 with a single, is hitting 273 with runners in scoring position. And then Espinal is hitting 250. Everyone else is hitting less than 200 with runners in scoring position. And it's painful, including Alejandro Kirk, who is a 0.95 with runners in scoring position. Ouch.
And I imagine my guy Chapman is sitting around there too, because I know that he left at least 2 guys on in a very key situation that would have made the ball game a lot different had he at least hit the ball hard to the outfield, at least given us a chance to score a run. Yeah, like you said, man, we're just not doing it with ducks on the pond, man. Even with a runner on first, we're not advancing runners in no out situations. It's rather frustrating. It is part of baseball. Baseball is a game of numbers. We all know that. And the numbers are certainly not in our favor. In fact, like, I think there's an omen against us, Jesse, as far as runners in scoring position.
Are you saying we're cursed?
I won't do. It's not like the curse. Hey, man, it's not like the GOAT in Chicago, and it's not like the curse of the Bambino for the Red Sox. Nothing like that, but I'm telling you, we're not having a good year with runners on base at all.
So if you're the Blue Jays and you're Charlie Montoyo, how do you fix this then? Like, do you think we need a shakeup? Like, do we have to fire our hitting coach just to put some accountability on this team? Because they've tried moving the lineup a little bit, but even doing that really hasn't done a lot, which we thought it would. So what do you do in order to get these guys to start hitting better with runners in scoring position?
I got to ask you first and foremost, Jesse, like, what does an MLB hitting coach do besides tell you the scouting report? Because if you've made it to the major, I know if you've made it to the major leagues, you know how to hit. Mm-hmm. Like, it's more or less like you're being addressed to the specific pitcher pitching. So I don't believe firing the hitting coach will do anything for this team. Like, we have our guys. Teo needs to hit more. Chapman needs to hit more. And you know what? I won't say Vladdy needs to hit more, but at least he needs to put more. He needs to put more in the seats is what he needs to do. I don't think firing the hitting coach is going to do anything for this club, but damn, man, if Springer wants to call a players-only meeting again to say, guys, what the hell are we doing out there? Then by all means, George Springer, call that meeting and let's figure something out, man. Because I said we scored double-digit runs against the Reds in one of the games. We scored 7 runs in total over 3 games, which is almost the worst team in baseball.
Yeah, the worst pitching staff.
Atrocious.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, the good news is here the Jays did win 2 out of 3 here. We did win 4 out of 6 on the homestand, but it feels like these are wins that are slipping away from this team, and that's what really hurts the most here. I know it's still early, and I know we still have a long way to go, but you kind of want to bank these wins early, especially when you're in the heat of the AL East and what this division is going to be.
Well, man, look at what the Yankees are doing. And you know what? The Yankees, they are a good club, but they're no better than us. I swear, man. And like, I mean that genuinely, not even as a Jays fan, but as a guy who knows
how it should be. But it hasn't been
for
so
sure.
Far,
we are matched. We are matched evenly with them. In fact, our pitching staff might even have the upper hand. Their power hitting might be a slight better, but other than that, we should be win for win matched right up until game 150 when we dog it out for the division title. Mm-hmm. That's the way I dream it up this year. They got off to a hot start, and our bats are ice cold. Like, that's what's going on right now.
Well, they've really got to step it up and flick something up here. And one of the main culprits for that is going to be my next thumbs down here is to what Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is doing. And look, if you think of this offense as a whole, this offense runs through Vladimir Guerrero Jr., right? Like, he is the catalyst that keeps this thing going. And I still want you to take this with a grain of salt because Vladdy has still been our best hitter so far this season, right? And we talked about it last episode, how Vladdy hasn't had an extra base hit in a while. And in fact, he still doesn't have one this series. Vladdy's last extra base hit was that home run he hit in the opening game in Cleveland. Ever since then, he's just been singles. He had that nice hit streak, which was great, but it was all 1 for 4 with a single every single at bat. And that's just not going to cut it, honestly, especially for one of the game's most talented offensive players in the league. Let's get that thunder in that bat going because this offense is going to go as far as Vladimir Guerrero Jr. takes it. And right now, he's not taking it that far.
Hey, if that's me and you playing in the major leagues, if we're going 1 for 4 every series and just making, that's a scrape and buy kind of statistic for even war guys. But for a Vlad Guerrero Jr., that is something that needs to be well improved on. Even getting 1 for 4 every so often in 4 at bats, that's only a 250 average. Yeah. If you draw a walk, maybe we'll bring that on base percentage up to around 300. But we need those twofer. We need that hit, but we also need a double with 2 RBIs. We need a solo home run. We need extra base hits for sure, like at least at a Vladdy.
Like, when was the last time you remember seeing Vladimir Guerrero smoke one to the gap and running it out for 2 bases? It's been a while.
Honestly, man, I saw it in last year for sure because he was putting them to all fields. But this year, it just seems like he's hitting them hard, but he's hitting them on the ground.
That's the thing.
It's we knew this would kind of be an issue, but I never thought that it would be this persistent of an issue.
That was kind of his track record growing up to the minor leagues that, he hit the ball really hard, but he did hit in the ball on the ground a lot. But we saw in the COVID-shortened 2022 season, and then last year, he raised that launch angle, and look what happened. He puts up MVP caliber numbers. This year, he's kind of gone back to it a little bit, and he's not really hammering that pitch that's low in the zone. Like, those are the pitch he's still hitting hard, but he's hitting them at infielders now. Last year, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. was taking those pitches and crushing them into the second deck. So we need to see that a little more from Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
I know, and it's not, you know what, Jesse, and even watching his swing, because I salivate when he comes up to the plate. Mm-hmm. Every time he comes up to the plate, regardless of the last time he hit an extra base hit was against the Guardians. Sorry, yeah. Guardians. Yeah, I don't care. Like every time he comes up, I still anticipate a huge at bat, a huge hit. Like as a Jays fan, as someone who knows what Vlad can do, you just expect it. And it's just been, I've been waiting so long, as you and everyone else has. It's well overdue.
He's got to get this going soon and hopefully rights this ship very soon. Our next one here, I kind of want to give, it's a partial one. I want to give part a thumbs up. I want to give part a thumbs down here. We're going to give our thumbs up to the big lad, Alek Manoahs, who on game 2 of this series pitched an absolute gem. 8 innings, only 1 earned runs on an efficient 83 pitches with 12 swinging strikes as well. But here's where we go to give our thumbs down. He was cruising. He was going through. He ran into a little trouble in the 4th, but got that double play to get out of it. And then he comes into the dugout, 83 pitches. Charlie Montoyo and Pete Walker decide we're going to take Alek Manoahs out of the game. We're going to bring in Jordan Romano, and that is going to be it. And Alek Manoahs looked furious in the dugout. He was like, you can't take me. You can't take me. Hazel May was reporting that he's just saying, come on, Pete. Come on, Pete. You can't do this. But hey, it all ended well. Jordan Romano came in, got the net thing. The Jays got the win, which is what matters. But I really would have loved to have seen Alek Manoahs go out there and try to get that shutout or that complete game.
We love complete games, man. And you know what? Romano came in, and guess what he did? He struck out every freaking batter he faced. So that's good. Oh, my God. Well, Canadian boy. Love our Canadians on the Jays. But Jordan Romano, he's a great closer. Alek Manoahs is going to be our future ace if he isn't already. But yeah, I know we have different takes on this, Jesse. And my take is, at this point, it's a close ball game. It's 2 runs, dude. It's 2 runs. If we're up 5-1, I would let him go out. But it's close, man. That's a walk and a drive away from being, trouble for us, dude, against a game we have in the bag. We had that game in the bag. That was, Bichette walked all over their pitching staff, and Alex shut everyone down. And you know what? To give him 8 innings and for him to do what he did, man, he only struck out 4, which is a bit low. Gave up 7 hits. You know what? That's still real good. That's a great whip considering he walked nobody in the game. You know what? I'm on the fence with it, Jesse, but at the same time too, I don't mind having a great closer to come in and get a save in a close game.
Yeah, and it was the middle of the Reds order too. It was I think it was the 3, 4, 5 hitters, and it was the 4th time through the order, so hitters do get a better look at it. My only gripe I had that there is that meant that Jordan Romano was unavailable to pitch in game 3 today because he pitched last night. So if you could have used Manoah, you could have had Romano to come into the game today, and maybe things shape out differently. Maybe they don't give up that late home run because Jordan Romano's available to come into the game today. I don't know. Just a thought I've had. We'll see what happens next time Alek Manoahs has another big start like that and it's going on. But you also felt like maybe the reason too is Charlie Montoyo kind of senses an urgency that they need these wins, and they need these wins badly. And that's why they had to go to Romano there. So just a thought.
Man, the urgency, well, trust me, the urgency flows in my blood too. Like that is something that the urgency was there, dude. The worst thing that could have happened, Jesse, like even worse than Romano blowing the save would have been for Manoah to go out there and just crap the bed on a win that he already had locked down. He didn't need to go out for the 9th. Yeah. I loved it. It's not 1990 anymore. Like this is a new game. And hey, as an old school guy, I'm trying to get around to it too, man. Trust me, it's hard for me to do that. But one thing I have grasped a lot is the use of relievers in high leverage situation, which 2 runs, dude, you want to throw one of your top 3 arms in the 9th inning.
It makes sense.
It's Romano or Simber. Like one of those 2 guys would have done fine. And it doesn't matter. Romano and he struck out 3 guys, but hey, that won't be the last time Manoah goes out there and the decision will be made. Maybe next time. It might be not next start or the start after, but at some point this year, Alek Manoahs for sure is going to get a complete game.
Yep, it's going to happen, and I think it's going to happen sooner than we think, too. Riley, you wanted to talk about one of our hitters that had a really standout performance this series.
Oh, well, I think I already said him, Bo Bichette, man. Like, I mean, when it's hard. I can't say right now, like, I'd love to say, oh, Bo had 6 RBIs. Well, no, he only had 3, which is fine because we're scoring low runs. But still, when you get 2 home runs in a game, I mean, it's nice, man. He was the reason we won game 2, and it's Bo Bichette. I'm glad that he got those 2 home runs. In the home run column, I imagine he's going to get, a decent amount. He could be a 30 home run member this year. I don't know. It might be close. but the whole team is kind of in limbo, like I said, on their offensive numbers. It was good to see Bo carry the team in game 2. Like, holy crap, we needed that, man. We really needed Bo to come through, anyone to come through, and it was Bo.
Yeah, especially after a slow start he had in April. Really good to start to see Bo Bichette carry it around. At least somebody on this offense is starting to put up these good plate appearances and get it together. I'll tell you what, his first home run he hit in that game off Hunter Green, where it was the slider that was down in the zone, below the zone, Bo Bichette waited back patiently on it and kind of threw his hands out and was still able to put barrel on the ball and send it to the second deck at Rogers Center. Like, that is elite level stuff. Not everybody can do that. Bo Bichette can do that. And that's what was really impressive to me. And I'll tell you, before that Bo Bichette home run, I was starting to forget what the home run jacket looked like. I feel like it had been a long time since I'd seen it. So good to know it still exists and it's still there.
Well, I hope Bo isn't the only one who's going to wear it this week coming up, man, because there's still a lot of baseball to play, and the games are just going to get tighter. Like, again, I go back to this, but it's a series we should have swept. It really is in the grand scheme of things, man. And we're not scoring runs. Like, now we're getting into games that matter more. Like, I know we play the Cards. We'll talk more about that. We play St. Louis, but after that, we got to be freaking sharp, Jesse. Like, we got to be on our toes.
Yeah, and just a little quick side note. We talk about the schedule, how it was really tough for the Blue Jays the first half of the year and how it does ease up later on. But, like, we get a lot of our games against the Baltimore Orioles, but now this is going to be the time. Like, they just called up Adley Rutschman. Grayson Rodriguez is coming. They have DL Hall. Like, we're going to get a Baltimore Orioles team that actually has good players now, even though they're young and they're still developed. They're not the same trash team that the Yankees have been beating up on also the year. So it's not going to be as easy as we think down the stretch. So therefore, the Jays, no one's going to do the Blue Jays any favors. We have to go out and we have to perform if we're going to go out and take care of business here.
Oh, you said it there, Jesse. No one's done us any favors, man. We, like I said, we got a no name on the mound today, making his first major league start. And I don't know who the kid is. I really don't. Ashcraft. I mean, there's no way that he's a 22-year-old prospect. Like, that dude's got to be over 25. You don't have to look it up. He's 24. Okay. So he's not. Well, good for him for making his first major league appearance, but we should have danced on that guy's cleats, for God's sakes. We should have lit him up. And instead, you know what? It was just, we're playing hockey game scores, like 3-2, 2-1, 3-1. Like, those are hockey games, man. And I played hockey growing up. Baseball games that we should be playing, we should be getting 7 runs in, especially against the newbie. Are you kidding me? Oh, it's crazy, man. Oh, make me bite all my fingernails off in the middle innings, dude. Oh, it's sad.
Man, you're not gonna have any fingernails. You're not gonna have any hair by the left of this. Sheesh, man.
Oh no, I got great hair. I got no fingernails though. No way. I bite all them off.
All right, well, that's the thumbs up, thumbs down here. We're hoping to see some better things from the Blue Jays position players going forward. This team needs to hit, and if this team is not going to hit, it's going to be a problem. But we're hoping it'll happen. It's got to, right? On paper, this team is too good, and just the fact that everyone is slumping at once just makes it feel so much worse. Right? We're going to get there.
Yeah, I know. It's one of those things, like, is this really happening? I'm really waiting for 2 games where we do score 11 and 13 runs, because we are well overdue for it, Jesse. And especially, you just look at the 2 guys that I think are really underperforming, is Vlad and Teo for power wise. Like, Bo's done fine. I'm not going to gripe on Bo, but Teoscar and Vladdy have really underperformed. I know that Teo missed a lot of time, but those guys, man. I mean, Teoscar is going to be hitting 4 spot for, you know, at least 110 games this year. And there's no way that he doesn't hit 30 home runs. He should. If he doesn't, Jesse, that's what we call underperforming. We got to come through at some point.
I was going to say, he's running out of time. He's 5 for his last 50. I don't think he's hit a home run in a while. So it's tough. Riley, I'm just going to spit out some random facts at you, and then you tell me what you think about them. All right.
All right, shoot, Jess.
All right, Hyun-Jin Ryu gave up 6 hits, 6 at bats off the ball, 100 miles per hour or harder, with 12 of them being 94.9 miles per hour or harder. What do you think of that?
Well, I'll tell you, Jesse. I was scared when he even towed the rubber in. Think of it.
Yep.
Statistically, he did just fine. But it's one of those things, man. He's not an overpowering guy. And like, the control is there, but the movement isn't enough. Like, he doesn't move his pitches enough. Like, he can pinpoint them, but guess what? The hitters see those pitches. Like, he's not someone who's going to go out and strike eight guys out, because people see what's being thrown. Like, weak contact is weak contact, Jesse. But when you start barreling balls up, like, you're done for. Like, you're done for.
That's what's worrisome with Hyun-Jin Ryu, right? Good stat on paper, but it was just because the Blue Jays had defenders in the right place. So there's that. My next stat, Thomas Hatch threw 6 no-hit innings for the Buffalo Bisons yesterday.
Well, that caught me off guard. Jeez, I don't know what I think about that. Oh, my God. I mean, like, let's dig into our system. There's other guys that we could use. He's definitely... Hey, I don't expect Thomas Hatch to start any big league games, but depth-wise, he'd be a great specialist. He'd be a good middle relief guy, maybe a 5-6 inning guy if we run into trouble. But let's keep Thomas Hatch in Buffalo kind of as a veteran. That's what I think, Jesse. Like, I'm not hating on Thomas Hatch, but the time that you know what, his clock is past overdue, and you know what, if he makes an appearance with us, it's because we've ran into some serious injury troubles.
It's just a don't forget about me, I'm still here type of start, right?
Oh, I know Thomas Hatch is there. I never forgot about him, and there's a reason I never forgot about him, is because I know, you know, I won't say the word ineffective, but you know what, doing something in AAA is great, but doing that and matching it at the major league level is something totally different.
All right, here's what Hunter Green, the Reds pitcher, said about the city of Toronto. Quote, to see it up close, to walk through the city, I just love the culture. I love the architecture. The atmosphere here is amazing. You could feel the whole stadium locked in with every pitch.
You know what? From a young man who is, like, in my opinion, one of the best young up-and-comers in the National League, because he throws, first of all, he throws over 100 miles an hour, 103, 104, which is ridiculous. This kid is insane. You know, I'm very humbled by that as a Blue Jays fan. You know what? Good on you, Hunter Green. That's awesome. You know what? He's got a long career ahead of him. And if free agency comes up in 2029 and he comes to Toronto, then I'll be very happy he's on the team.
We'll remember this quote when that does happen.
Oh, trust me, that's in my mind. Locked it.
Perfect. We're going to do some news and notes here. Tim Mays' MRI on his elbow came back clean. He's hoping for a quick throwing program and should start throwing early next week. Figures to be a pretty quick buildup from there, so hopefully about another week or two until we get Tim Mays back in this pen. Ricky Tiedemann made his debut for High A Dunedin, and he went 4 2/3 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned runs, 2 walks, and 9 strikeouts for Ricky Tiedemann. Julian Merriweather will be joining this club in St. Louis. He'll be on the taxi squad down there, so they might call upon him and need him. And Gabriel Moreno was back in Buffalo's lineup after he had a hit by pitch scare, and he went 4 for 5 with a home run and a double. So Riley, my question is to you, with how bad this offense has been, is it time to bring Gabriel Moreno up to this team?
Does he play a secondary position other than catcher?
He took some ground balls at third base and whatnot.
Can we, because listen, if you're a catcher, you're immediately a good defender.
Sure.
How hard would it be for a catcher to learn the premise of, I don't know, I won't dock second baseman for playing second base, but I would assume as an infielder, second base is the easiest position to kind of grasp, you know, with runners not on base, things like that, like not a defensive sub. You know what?
They're all difficult. They're all tough.
You know, of course, at a major league level, Jesse, but I'm not going to, after today, Jansen picked off, I don't care if Barnhart's a catcher or not. He picked off a runner on first, and it reminded me, Jesse, God, I love having Jansen back, man. I know Kirk does a great job framing everything like that, but it reminded me, man, how much I love having Danny Jansen back. And I would love to have Moreno up with this squad, but if there's any place that isn't catcher that's taken away fielding time from Jansen, then yes, I'll have him up there. But for now, let him ferment a little bit for Buffalo, like, because he's not hurting down there. I know Adley just got called up for the Orioles, but you know what? They're on totally different clocks, different clocks.
And I agree. You don't want to bring Gabriel Moreno up just to be a full-time designated hitter either, right?
Yeah.
When you bring him up, you want him to stay up here. So we'll see. Yeah. I'm sure we'll see him at some point this season.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Once that roster, you know, kicks in, well, September, he'll be up here for sure. I have no doubt about it. he will get his first major league at bat this year. It wouldn't surprise me if July and August come around, and because he's got all three options. And you know what, to sample size him, to get him his early cup of coffee, little cappuccino shot, we'll call it this time, and send him right back down, that's fine. But you know what, let's not ruin him early. He's doing fine in AAA, and let's get him comfortable.
All right, well, with that, after that, the game today, the Blue Jays are boarding on a plane, and we are heading to St. Louis. Rare visit to see Busch Stadium and the St. Louis Cardinals. Blue Jays don't go there a whole lot. It'll be a quick little 2-game set. It'll be fun to look at. Game 1 of the series will be Jose Barrios against our old friend Steven Matz will be on the mound for St. Louis there. Game 2 will be Kevin Gausman against Jordan Hicks. So it's a quick 2-game series, in and out. What are you hoping to see from the Blue Jays here?
Well, a quick 2-game series, man. Like right off the bat, I think, well, 2 wins would be great. I mean, Steven Matz he was great. He was great for us. Like no hard feelings. We should crush him. Out of it. He got paid. We should crush him. Jordan Hicks, I'm a little more skeptical of, because if he goes for, because he can't go long. He's a relief pitcher closer that's starting for them. I know, I got him in fantasy. He's not going long term. If we can get out of the 4th inning and get him yanked and go into the Cards bullpen, we'll be fine, man. But it just comes down to, holy cow, man, let's hit the ball this series. Like, I know it's only 2 games. Like, I don't know who's going to play in this, who's going to DH, because I know we're going to Busch, but holy, this would be the first time that there's been a DH in Busch Stadium for a Jays player. Like, that's new. So it's like, who's going to play what position? Like, who's catching? Kirk Jansen, you know, Collins, is he DHing? It'll be interesting to see what Montoyo does with the lineup in this game on a quick 2-game set, because, you know, Charlie knows that we gotta win. Like, we gotta snap this together, man. Like, we can't split. We could split, but it's not going to put us in a better situation.
Yeah, you think the Jays just got to have a sense of urgency. Let's hope they wake up on the plane ride down there, and let's get these 2 games, especially with Barrios and Gausman, on the bump for our team. Anything else to add, Riley, before we close off, before we head out of here today? Nope. All right. Well,
no, sorry, cut out there. Before we go, I actually want to give just a quick "This Bud's for You" shout out, Jesse.
Yes, you do. Yeah.
That's all right. And it's to no one. Well, of course, it's part of the Jays community. It's no player or anything like that, but it's to my co-host, Jesse Burrell. And Jesse, you posted a very brave group of photos towards your gain, which is a weight loss, which has looked great, by the way. Dude, I'll tell you what, I loved you when you were a big guy. I still love you the same. I love that you're healthier and happier, man. And that's all I got to say. And I hope that this year, playing for the Pirates, you're going to do awesome this year. That bat speed's got to come around, man. So, Jesse, I'm very proud of you, man. And I know that a lot of people are. That comment blew up there on Facebook. You got a lot of recognition, and it's well-deserved, man. It's well-deserved. Jesse Burrell, this bud's for you, my friend.
Appreciate it, man. Just trying to make plays to better myself, and I kind of wish the Blue Jays offense would do the same. Maybe that's Charlie Montoyo can show that around, and they can get inspiration going on this team here. But that'll do it for our episode here today. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Leave us a comment. Tell us how you think. Are we in panic mode about this Blue Jays offense? What's your plan to fix this team? Any advice you have, leave a comment down below. We'll gladly talk with you about it there. And yeah, let's get on the plane. Let's go to St. Louis and let's get this shit done.
Thanks, guys.
Peace.